This is Unit 3 at the beginning of Six Sigma Black Belt, and it's on teaming. Oh my, oh my. This could be very long, but we'll try to keep it short. Okay, let's talk a bit about team management. One of the big things is they have to have a reason to be together. If they don't have a reason, then they're not a team. They're just a group. And they have to be dependent on each other, interdependent on each other. You want to get that synergy. They all have to share the same values. If they don't have the same values, it's just not going to work. And the big part of this comes from management's role. When they put together a team, they got to ensure the team understands its purpose. And they reinforce results. Not just positive results, but also negative results, one or the other. There's a magic ratio, actually, about 3 to 1. 3 attaboys, attagirls to 1, oh, you dumb fool, you screwed it up. So 3 to 1. And don't criticize them for longer than 2 minutes. Or don't reward for 2 minutes. 2 minutes is the magic time. Share the business results. Let the team see that they're making an impact on the business. And they got to provide a sense of mission. This is important because, and let the team take it from there. And make it a realistic plan. And you want it to be integrated with what's happening with the rest of the organization. It's got to fit your overall strategy. If it doesn't, you're just ancillary. You're just not part of the organization as a whole. And finally, you want to provide vision. What do you hope to get out of this team? And the logistical support. A lot of times teams just can't, get it done because they don't have the resources. Types of teams, and there's a bunch of them. This is just a few of them. First one, Six Sigma teams. We talked about that earlier. Improvement teams, what that is a team formed within a specific department. A process improvement team, on the other hand, might draw from other departments and get them all together. A project team, task force, ad hoc. These are people brought together for a specific reason, a specific project. Customer complaint, improve our a specific project, something like that. Cellular teams, that's very close to being like a natural work team. We'll talk about that a bit. Self-directed teams, that came from Japan. We're going to talk about the 4 stages of teaming, the forming, storming, norming, and performing. And what Japan realizes, if you do the forming and storming and norming already, then you can get them performing. So basically just give these teams that already exist and at the performing level, just say you figure out what you're going to do and just do it. You got the cross-functional teams. This is we got the different departments coming in, probably at a higher level than a process improvement team, but they work on problems. Natural work team. The Army, actually, the military did a study, and they found that the natural team group, or for teaming, gets the most effect, about 5 to 9 people. And you'll see that number vary a bit. But it turns out that's the natural size of a human's family. So we're hardwired to work within that family, 5 to 9 people. And these natural work teams are teams that just work together, so they naturally come together. And if you got more than 9 people in your department or in charge of, you might want to think about splitting them up into 5 to 9 member teams. If you don't, they're going to do it anyway, because that we're hardwired for that. Quality circles. This is basically a team, again, that came from Japan, the concept, and we choose to get a team together to work, and we're going to about quality teams, but basically they just keep on the same project, the quality circles, usually the plan, do, check, act cycle, and they just keep on getting better. Quality teams, very similar to that, except they don't keep on doing it. Once they're done, they're done. And usually, they finally got the virtual teams. You got people, with technology, you can have people on the team that aren't physically there. These are virtual teams. Okay, let's talk a bit about the team roles. First of all, a team member. These are people that participate. Big thing about team members, they have to be trained on what a team is and how to participate in a team. And they got to know the stages. I've always found if you just tell them about the 4 stages of team development, and then I shared in the readings a game I always play with a little ball that seems to get us through those 4 stages. The leader, my kids at the Annapolis, as I talk about this, and of course I went to West Point. Leaders are not these patent types anymore. What they're looking for are more like coaches. They're actually embedded in the team, and they're part of the team. They participate, And as the team matures, the leader becomes more and more invisible. And less and less, and leadership roles are shared, actually. So it's an interesting dynamic. The best leaders are invisible. A facilitator, he's the one that knows about team, and he keeps the team on track and worries about the teaming process, not necessarily about the team objective or his project, but getting the team through the process of teaming. Recorder, you want to record all the information you do, and this is a very important role, so that you know what you got so far and where you're going. Timekeeper, my goodness, the average, the Finns did a study, 42 minutes. After 42 minutes, people just aren't paying attention anymore. So you want to keep the meeting short and to the point. And process owner, without this is a guy that's, you're going to change a process. You better have him involved or have him on board. You can't change a process without him on board or her. The reason is the process owner is going to have the most resistance, ability to most tendency to make sure a team fails, because they got to where they got to by doing this system as it exists now. Okay, to change it is a threat to their power. Okay. So how do you get a team formed? First of all, where are you going to look for team members? Well, if somebody's feeling the pain where the problem is, yeah, they're a candidate. Where the source is, if it's input to another process, you want to get somebody where the source is coming from. Some people have special knowledge, information, or skills. Get those on board. If somebody has a solution, definitely bring them in if you think they might have a solution. Now, when you're adding new people, you don't want to get somebody with a going to come over and just, kick butt and take names. You want somebody that'll just integrate into the team slowly and without disrupting the team forming functions. Every once in a while, you get that one guy, that one woman, just doesn't work in the team. He either dominates, he's a super chicken. You got to get rid of him. I'm going to have there's in the reading, you'll see something about John Cotter. Okay. Size, we talked about this, 5 to 9. Some people say you can go up to 15 or even 20, but generally about 9 is what I feel is best. If you get less than 5, you get this thing called groupthink. Not enough people there to have different ideas. You start tending to think the same, which kind of leads us into diversity. If you get a bunch of people together, they all think the same and they act the same, they believe the same, you don't really have a team, you have a mob. You want that diversity, and diverse teams actually function better. Back about 45 years ago, Meredith Belbin came up and said, hey, there are 9 key roles in teaming, in teams, and they can be filled, the different roles can be filled by 2 people. One person can have more than 2 roles. But rather than me talk about it, watch the video and the reading. If you want some written work on it, Wikipedia's got a nice little article on it and stuff, good summary, and there are others out there. But this is the Meredith Belbin team roles. Okay, this is how clever I am. In the previous slide, I referred you to the readings. Now I'm going to refer you to the discussions. I've linked the PDF on Lean Overview, PDF, in the discussion. Inside that PDF, you'll find a big section on teaming. Go ahead and take a look at it. I'll cover all the success factors. It's also got a nice little checklist and give you some examples of good and bad teams.